Haha. Prepare for trouble.
And make it double.
That's all you get. There's nothing more. I mean, you want the meowth, that's right. Well, you're going to have to stick around to the end of the video because this is the UPC Week 6 recap. We're covering all the games from Week 6 of the UPC draft season. And I hope you guys are ready for a little bit of commentary and maybe some extra memes thrown in here and there because I'm feeling memey. Dean, how about you?
I'm pretty down for it.
Just kind of memey. Anyways, we've got a couple extra guys here with us this week. We've got That Guy Reverb, Coach Mark. How you doing?
I am doing great. How you guys?
I'm fine.
We're memey.
Are we memeing tonight, boy?
We meme it, son. And we got Mega Redneck, aka HM586, otherwise known as Hunter.
You can call me Mega Redneck too if you want.
I'm not calling you Mega Redneck, man. That's the worst. That is totally the worst. Anyways, we got a whole full house with you guys. We're going to be covering all of the games. There were 4, of course, as usual. Really spicy stuff. We had a lot of higher differentials, some really pivotal plays leading to some landslides this week. And just excited to cover this with you guys because it's some excellent Pokemon top-tier plays. Dean, you want to tell them what we're starting out with here?
We're going to kick it off this week with your match against Hurley.
Yeah. Played Hurley, and you see the lineup for Hurley, and you're thinking, I have seen this before. You have. This is pretty much the same team I think we've seen every week, and so far, it's been like, all right, has he brought different sets? I don't know. This is going to be the surprise for you guys this week. This is week 6. This is the last time I will not unveil the surprise early. This is his team. This is what he has brought. And I brought one custom tailored to compete against Hurley. And I feel like it was exactly what I should have brought. He thought that what he brought was exactly what he should have brought. As convoluted as the description that is, hit that play button, Dean. Let's just see how it works out. Quick switch out there, straight into the tank. Quagsire himself, he fart.
Nice swap in on that Toxic right there for the Bisharp.
What? Yeah, I don't know if he predicted that coming in or what was going on because the Earthquake would have been bad, obviously. 82% damage is massive coming from that Quagsire straight into the super effective damage on Bisharp.
Not sure what he was thinking there.
Well, let's see what he's doing maybe a little later on. Switch out there as the Toxic misses. Toxic is not doing so hot for me this game. Eat the close combat, get the Toxic off. That's not so bad, right?
Well, worth the trade.
So, how about Serena just taking a straight up Ice Punch from Grapplog? Now, this was not an invested Serena at all.
Just a physical attacker, no defense or anything.
Sir, it was there to try to get some sweeping damage, kind of kamikaze, but it took an Ice Punch like a champ, or like a what's the female version of a champ? Excuse me, 2020.
It's because the hips means she's thick.
That's it. That makes so much. The hips are thick, so the Mon is thick.
Makes sense to me.
Mommy takes hits. So Tyranitar comes in and does exactly what it's supposed to do. The Scald is negligible damage. Tyranitar gets that weakness policy proc, and it's time to start getting some damage. He-Tar in the house. He-Tar.
Until he gets hit by a meteor, just like all the other dinosaurs.
Now that is Specs Dragapult. Ladies and gentlemen, there it is again. How you like that? Headbutt.
Is that AV Cinderace?
Better believe it, son. He taking
He
hits
took
too.
that Scald nice.
Listen, all my human-like Pokemon here, if they walk on 2 legs, they thick. They got hips. Mommy coming
Jesus
out.
Christ, I just realized they're all humanoid.
They are human-like. They on the 2 legs. Because I'm a furry in real life.
He's not, though. It's okay.
For
You don't know
yourself.
what he does on those Thursday nights.
It is true. There is a second basement.
Oh, yeah, I mean, there is, man. There's always. I mean, if I had to channel all of my for PG YouTube reference sensual energy into one Pokemon, it would probably be Quagsire.
What have I signed up for?
So Quagsire, of course, with all of that central energy, is able to easily clap up and clean up this game. Getting 3 quick KOs there, finally finishing off the Bisharp, which was hanging on by just a smidgen of some health. Super effective damage on the Toxapex and catching the switch on the Dragon. Toxapex, Baneful Bunker, it can't do anything. It, for all intents and purposes, cannot touch Quagsire once it's in the field because it's only attacking damage. As we've seen from weeks past, is Scald.
This is a water absorb Quagsire.
Yes, sir. This week it was. Unaware has been the favorable set so far, but water absorb just kind of made more sense this time around. So Quagsire was able to come in and clean up and end off with, what is that, 83% health? That's not too bad, right?
Yeah.
That's 89, but yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Nice. So that's our first game, ladies and gentlemen. That one, not a whole lot to talk about there. Like I said, a pretty pivotal play leading to a landslide. Quagsire came in and did his job.
Move over to load.
Ha! That's on hyper fast. We here to meme.
Hyper fast,
With
you
the
say?
popcorn.
No.
No. Regular fast. I can do this. Let's go.
All right, here you go.
In there. Bolton coming out of the field to the Frostmoth, hitting with the massive sidekick things. Yeah, that's all I got. Set
We're
it
going
back to
with
normal.
the boys at the Quiver Dance.
Frostmoth out of the picture really quickly as Comet just kind of neutralizes it with Bolton, and then Corsola coming in, doing Corsola things. Not afraid of anything at all.
No, it's just so thick, it just doesn't care.
Common phrase around the UPC
Great
chat
design.
was that you can't kill what's already dead.
It was a great switch into Oxygen on the Psychic and to get the burn orb off.
Brain plays on the read.
Getting Rock Slip was great too, just for Chip and to get that bravery. I mean, it probably would have died to the facade anyway, but
I love the massive attack stat base power into facade, which is what, 140? Stab? I mean, that's it's really good with guts. Oh my god, it's so strong.
another really good switch into Corsola on the Drain Punch.
No, the reads are very well done. And I'm going to be honest with you, like, Russell isn't playing transparently. I'll give him a little bit of credit there on that. Thomas is just making some next level reads.
That's a really cool tech on Draco's ult because of the hustle. He missed the Bolt Beak, which gave him blunder policy. Of course, it didn't matter here, but it could be really cool later or in a different any point in time other than now.
With a major nod there to MB. I think MB was the first person I saw on YouTube using this set with the hustle blunder policy set, because Bolt Beak is such a strong move anyways, and it gains most of that power from attacking first. But if you don't have the speed to back up, you're going first and attacking first.
That Bolt Beak still doing 60% after a burn.
It's ridiculous.
Pokemon like Hatterene. I mean, there's some defensive power there with Hatterene. That's impressive.
And this Kong Kelder doesn't look like it's Flame Orb, so most likely is Iron Fist here.
How about that massive attack stat turning into a massive attack snack?
It's a snack. Just eating everything up. Corsola is a problem.
You can't kill what's already dead.
I'm pretty sure we've said it before, the best thing that happened to Corsola this generation is it getting an evolution.
You're right. You know,
Yep.
12 generations from now, Pokemon will be 80 years old, and the
We'll be getting the Gen 4 remakes.
oh no. I was gonna say the Australia and the Great Barrier Reef will have been long gone. It'll be a thing of ancient history, and there will be Corsola sitting there like, I have weathered all of this. It cannot be killed.
I will say, I feel like Russell shouldn't have wasted the Frostmoth so early. Otherwise, like, that Frostmoth having it in the back definitely could have given him a better chance to fight this Corsola. But
Agreed.
I mean, but for what it is, Corsola is it's a tank, and
It's
just letting it get off strength stats is just.
And it still being able to do what Nightshade is damage based on level, so it's doing 100 HP here. Is that how that works? Or is it-
yes,
Yeah.
100 HP every time it hits.
That's
a
insane.
massive number, right? That's really good. Defending, it's not determined off of defense stats, and it gets stronger. It comes in with massive bulk against physical attackers, right?
Right.
But then strength stat provides pseudo boost against physical attackers and recovers HP at the same time. It's almost a broken move.
And also, it gets Curse Body, which it just did to that Conkeldurr until it struggled to kill itself to death.
Conkeldurr was
bad.
ready for a way out of that, and
Tom's
he had the
combo,
razor blades,
Top course,
and he was in the
combo
bathtub.
Corsola and Obstagoon. Sorry, talking over you, but
Oh, you're okay.
like the Obstagoon and the Corsola combo this week is just like way too much for Russell to handle. And
For sure.
I will say Russell, like he's been playing great this season. This was just like one of the slip ups. But it's that.
Tom's has got a really good team.
Sure does. I think you hit the nail on the head right there, Mark. I mean, between just the Obstagoon and the Corsola switch-ins, there wasn't a whole lot that every other supporting member of this team needed to do, even though each one of them could have come in and just wreaked havoc.
Mhm. Yeah, it's definitely a very powerful 1-2 punch that Tom's got.
Absolutely. Anything else to add to this one before we top it off and move on to game 3?
Should be good.
Got that one pretty much licked.
Rolling on forward.
It's this one. Had all these fixed and they reloaded.
Breath. Hey, that's me.
Would be. Yeah, it even has your hair.
It does.
Hunter, you
The
want
color's
to
not correct, but
give us your thoughts on building this team for this week?
well, going into the game, I knew Rabombi was going to be Scarf, and I knew Rabombi was most likely coming, and it was going to have webs, and webs suck. So I have a Levitate and 2 flying types, and then I have Defog on the Corviknight and Rapid Spin on the Eldegoss. I did not want webs up at any point in time in this game, so I had to be ready for that for sure. Duraludon, Toxicity, Rotom, all huge threats. One thing that is really cool about the Gyarados, I didn't get to show it off in this game, but I definitely want to talk about it, is the Gyarados was Wakan Berry, which has super effective electric type moves, and he also had enough special defense investment to live a max attack modest Toxicity or Rotom Thunderbolt or Overdrive respectively, and still kill both of them after I could D-Dance on that turn and then still kill the next turn with either Power Whip or Earthquake. Didn't get to show it off, but it was cool if it would have happened.
That sounds like a heck of a set.
Yeah, it was cool. I liked building it. I really wish I could have showed it off. But everything else is pretty normal, except for the Corviknight. This is only the second time I think I brought Corviknight. The first time was just the bulk up sub crap. It's awful. Mark knows that all too well. But this Corviknight is just max defense with defog, just to be a little bit supporty. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say before we get into it.
Okay. Was there anything, like looking at his starting lineup, that was there that you weren't expecting, or was it pretty much what you planned for?
I planned for everything. Like, obviously, going into the game, I planned to be able to hit most of everything on his team. I didn't really expect him to bring Avalugg, but looking at it now, it does hit. It hits Gyarados and Hydreigon pretty well, but it can't live anything Hydreigon goes for, whether that be a Dark Pulse or even a Flamethrower. And it is Choice Scarf Hydreigon, which I brought pretty much every week. But everything else is I pretty much expected.
Okay.
Is this the first time Trey's brought Stonejourner this season, or am I just remembering that wrong?
Oh, he's brought it at least one time before. I remember seeing it in the past because it actually helped wall Thomas a couple of weeks ago against his ex-drill.
Yeah, it did. I remember because that was when the Dynamax was still, wasn't it?
So Stone Journer has kind of come in and played some roles as well as being an offensive presence as a defensive presence with that massive 135 base stats defense. So we've got some very thick Pokemon between Duraludon, Stone Journer, Avalugg, and Rotom. This is maybe not the most offensive team Terry has put together for UPC play, but it's definitely got its prowess as far as being able to take hits, pivot through, and start returning the hits, maybe in moves like Avalanche or Heat Crash, Heavy Slam, Flash Cannon, so on and so forth. Very passive offensive team, but I like it.
Go ahead and get this one going.
Verb.
Started with
Versus-
Corviknight because I figured he'd start with your Bombi. He doesn't. And it was interesting to see Stealth Rocks on Duraludon. So I went up for a light screen thinking he'd hit a special move, and then I just went for a Reflect because I knew Grimmsnarl could take it. Switch into Corviknight because he's a defensive wall. Doesn't take hardly
Heavy
anything
Slam
from
is
a
a
crit.
big hit onto a Grimmsnarl, even through Reflect.
Yeah. Go for the Iron Head on the Stone Journer, but he switches to Duraludon. Good switch. I Protect to see what he's going for and to get a little bit of recovery back. Eldegoss is my special wall, who also has heavy duty boots. Forgot to mention that.
I was gonna say I noticed it didn't take any damage from the Stealth Rock, so
Missed the Leech
Smart
Seed.
switch in.
Missed the Leech Seed, which kind of sucked, but didn't take much at all from that body press.
which is crazy because Avalugg's defense is like base 200 and something.
Who
Yeah, I
would
had a
win?
Reflect up.
Who would win, a giant block of avalanche, a giant block of ice, or one small block of ice?
Or a teapot in this sense.
Backed up.
So I get the Shell Smash off, and I get the recovery and the weak armor boost. So stored power is base 180. That crit did not matter at all.
You got like 26% HP back and one Leech Seed suck. I mean, that's a lot of HP.
Well,
Avalugg is very large.
Avalugg helped there because he's so thick.
Okay, walk us through why you chose to go with Giga Drain over Stored Power in that particular move. Would you mind to stop
So-
the replay for just a second?
Yeah, just go ahead and
Yeah.
pause it for a second. I went for Giga Drain there instead of Stored Power because the chip damage did not matter at all on Mirror Bomb. I knew it was Focus Sash. That's all he's ever brought. So I just needed the Sash broken. If I got enough health back from Giga Drain, great. Then I just sweep with both you guys. Either way, I get the Sash broken and maybe live. Stored Power, the extra damage, like I said, didn't matter. Everything else on my team can kill Revolver.
Just a quick thing to bring you guys up to speed. I think earlier maybe it was mentioned as a scarf, but actually it was indeed intended to be a sash. I think the regular set here that we've been seeing through the UPC so far on Trace Team is Peace Sash. So that was a correct play there. That was really well done on the Giga Drain. Even at that Shell Smash and decreased special defense, trying to take the hit from the Rabombi, the Giga Drain was probably the smarter play of the two over the Stored Power, which would have not KO'd through the Focus Sash, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Good,
moving
started back
forward.
there. So Eldegoss takes that like a champ, as always. Go ahead and go for a Leech Seed, because why not? And this is where Eldegoss shines. I can just
Why
protect.
not has no place in this league.
Yeah, he's right.
Wrong Pokemon.
Call the switch on the Sludge Bomb. Get more chip damage from Leech Seed. Get more recovery back. Protect again, because he's going to go for Overdrive. And to take the hit even better, I switch out to Eldegoss here.
Let me pause
But-
once again.
Yeah, this is a good one.
So the reason I asked for a pause there is because on this turn that you protected, I have to be completely honest there. I don't know what Trace full set was, and I know he's brought it in the past. That was an extremely gutsy play that could have completely, let's be real, turned the tide of this entire game. You protected on the turn that if Trey would have hit shift gear, you could have been in massive trouble because
Could have been.
this Toxtricity is packing your throat spray. I think that's why he was going for these moves like Moonburst and Overdrive, and that's fine. That's totally fine because it's just a great item for sound-based moves found on Toxtricity. They both get stabbed and some massive damage with Punk Rock. But if you would have clicked that shift gear there, you'd have been in some serious trouble, brother, because that would have eliminated Gyarados, Corviknight, Eldegoss, Grimmsnarl, and it would have done a major dent to that Toy Scarf Hydreigon, who more or less would have had to try to fend off this entire team by itself. So, well done by trying to get that read right. I just want you guys to understand that the whole game was hanging in the balance there, and you happened to make the right play. So, well done. Hats off to you, Trey. If you had the prep right, man, that was the moment of greatness. You just let slip by 1%. Mom spaghetti.
He would have had to get 2 boosts.
You think so?
Yes, because I can. If something dies, I switch in Eldegoss to die to a Sludge Bomb, and then I switch in Grimmsnarl, get up the Light Screen, then switch in Hydreigon and kill it. Because I'm pretty sure Choice Scarf Hydreigon is still faster.
Okay, that's an interesting setup. I didn't realize that because I know Grimmsnarl, of course, would die to the Sludge Bomb as well, and then the Hydreigon would have to live through a Boom Burst from a Throat Spray boosted. Even through his Light Screen, these are some very touchy calculations. Could Grimmsnarl, could Light Screen Hydreigon with Choice Scarf been able to do it? Very possible. But like I said, it had to fend off a whole team. That's a crazy play. I don't want you guys to overplay that or miss that because, sure, it was Protect versus an Overdrive, but so much could have happened there that just really didn't event to produce towards the end of this game.
Switches to Rotom on the Leech Seed, and then I think he tricks here, which is really good because now I have a Choice Scarf.
Indeed.
Which is actually really fine because I went for the Giga Drain. Now Rabombi takes it fine, and he's going to get webs up here, but that's why I go Corviknight. And he gets the webs up. I click Defog. He clicks Stun Spore, which is kind of annoying. But
I was really curious why he even tried to blue up with the Sticky Web here because Hydreigon's Levitate, Gyarados is Flying Type, Corviknight is Flying Type. Eldegoss doesn't care, neither does Grimmsnarl. That was an interesting play on Trey's part. Probably should have went for damage.
So I just let Corviknight die here so I can switch into Gyarados and kill it. Now he goes, I can't remember what he goes here. Pause it here, didn't he? So, Will was questioning why I switched Gyarados out on the Stonejourner because Gyarados is obviously faster than the Stonejourner and he's weak to water. But where I had the special defense investment, I couldn't one-hit a max HP and max defense Stonejourner. Whether that was his set or not, I wasn't going to take that chance. I should have, because I could have gotten the damage on Stonejourner that I needed. And then after Gyarados died, I could have just switched out Hydreigon and won the game that way with Dark Pulse. Because I forgot Rotom was only at 18%, and that was definitely a misplay. I could have saved 2 differential from that.
At least, yes, sir.
At least 2 differential. So yeah, you can go ahead and unpause it. That was a misplay, definitely.
It was a Moxie boosted Gyarados as well. I was kind of questioning. I'm like, man, that EV spread has to be funky for you to want to switch out, right? And then, of course, he unveiled what the actual spread was, which was good. I mean, the Walk-On Berry, that's impressive.
But then Hydreigon comes up, and it had like an 80% chance to one-hit KO with Dark Pulse, so I got that roll. And of course, I forgot Rotom was at 18, and Hydreigon finishes it out.
Very nicely cleaned up Choice Scarf Hydreigon win.
Hydreigon is an amazing Pokemon, and I feel like he's an underrated Dragonmon in other generations, and he is shined in this one.
For sure.
Definitely proven his worth this particular season. I know you've brought him every game, every week this season so far. That's 6 games in a row.
Yep.
Mark, Dean, anything to add to this one before we move on?
It was a really good game. I feel like you both played well. Besides the obvious displays you guys talked about, everyone was really good.
I was happy with the way I played, other than looking back on it when Will pointed out that I could have just won the game if I just went for a Waterfall Stonejourner and saved, like I said, 2 differential. Or just 1 differential, because Gyarados would have died to a Stone Edge for sure 100% of the time. Takes like 200% damage from it, so.
I hope you all don't misconstrue what I was trying to extrapolate from that particular sequence there because, sure, Gyarados could have potentially picked up the KO, but we play in a league to where these particular EV spreads of the items placed on these Pokemon are so niche and well prepared for that Trey could have very well had like a Pasho Berry onto that Stonejourner and lived through it, KO'd the Gyarados and moved on. That's the caliber of player that Trey is, and as most of you are in this league. So for Hunter to have to play with those mind games in order to try to play around that to secure a win, even at the cost of 2 less differential in the overall success of this team for getting the win this week. That's a big testament to what kind of play we have so far with the 8 seasons leading up to this one of the UPC. That's just some great play and some great history there, just respecting the players and the caliber that they are.
You gotta respect Trey. He's absolutely amazing at what he does. He's really good.
Sure.
It's always a great game, no matter who he plays. He builds like a man.
He's the original UPC singles champion, sir.
Yep.
So yeah, I agree. Yep.
You got one more championship than me. My 0.
Oh, there it is. But you're thirsty and you're playing on that grind. Let's move to game 4.
Speaking of former things,
Your words have never been mumbled.
Oh,
So here we go.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is your Hunger Games, your highlight match. We're throwing 12 angsty teens into an arena and asking for one of them to come out with blood-soaked hands. Here is the fight for the champion. Your highlight game of week 6, Mark versus Dean. Very well prepped on both sides. All-star cast for both teams. Really love seeing Kingler and the big meaty claw he has. I love seeing Gudra. That's been one of my favorites of the recent double season on the actual Nintendo Switch. There's so many good things about both of these teams. Dean, would you like to share a little bit about your side first before we dive into it?
Man, this has been, I know the Gudra, I've brought this similar set the last several weeks. I think this one's maybe more of a, this one I think was maybe more on the physical side. But a lot of the things that I have can kind of do a little bit of either way of attacking. But this week I went more on the physical side. I knew that there was still going to be a lot of issues to deal with, that Wheezing and Indeedee are always really hard to get rid of. And there was a lot of weird stuff that I had to come up with for this, because Mark always builds unique teams.
Mark, you want to talk about a little bit of this unique team yourself? I know, like I hinted onto the Kingler, but obviously that's not the featured set of this team. Would you like to talk about what your favorite member of this team was, maybe, but just leading a little bit of a teaser going into this one?
Yeah, definitely the Feeble. I wanted to try to make Feeble as spicy as possible.
We've seen spicy Feeble in the past, haven't we? So what makes this one spicy as well?
I mean, we'll see about that. I mean, I don't want to say it just yet.
Understandable, yeah. I'm not trying to lift the dress up a little bit too early.
I actually dropped Ditto for it, mainly because with Dynamax now gone, I felt like Ditto wasn't going to be useful for me for the rest of the season. Then I don't know, just something about that freaking claw, man. It just intrigued me.
I wish we had G-Maxes available, because Santa Claus, C-L-A-W-S, Santa Claus needs to be here. But instead, Kingler is a great Pokemon. I mean, there are so many things that it can do just to wreak havoc and to strike fear straight into Pokemon's hearts. And Kingler being a first-gen Pokemon was not one that was favored coming into Gen 8, okay? A lot of people were kind of upset that we're seeing so many first-generation Pokemon, but Kingler is something that was just so underrated for 8 generations that now it deserves its place. So I'm glad to see it's made its way onto your roster as a signature water Pokemon. I want to see you do some work in its place to replace Ditto on your roster.
And whenever we're ready, we'll go ahead and get into it.
Just jump right into it.
Alright, so just want to pause it. The fake out on the Salival, it was for the Galvantula. Like this Salival was anti-Galvantula, and I didn't want it to set something like that. That's pretty much what that is.
That's fair enough. Galvantula's pretty much been a one-trick pony all season.
Did you click Sticky Web there?
I might have clicked sticky web there.
Just sitting beside you, I know you clicked sticky web. You rascal, you. I might. No, that was a correct play on Mark's part. That was very well done to stop that and to break a potential stack. We don't know if that's the actual case there, but it's the popular set for Galvantula. So very well done on Mark's part with Brett.
Great switch into DDD on the Shadow Claw.
Another great switch straight into Gudra for the Sap Sipper boost.
For sure.
Oh, the Sap Sipper. Always forget to get Sap Sipper.
Such a weird ability for a gooey mon.
Yeah.
Just trading hits.
Yeah, that's about all I could do right at this point. I didn't really want to switch anything in.
Yeah, I couldn't really. I think the niggas keep using him.
Bearded Lad has arrived.
Yeah. I wasn't too happy about that Mystical Fire, though.
No. I mean, I don't think you were expecting that to be packed onto this Indeedee set, were you?
No, not really.
Psychic would have been fine. You could have tanked that very well, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on, but Mystical Fire was not breached.
I love AV.
Dragon
Gudra.
Pulse on the Salazzle is awesome. I didn't even know it got that.
Yes, sir. She is the queen of harem dragons.
Yeah, I just let Weezing go down here.
I mean, Barraskewda is a problem. Ice Fang Mist sucks.
That was major unfortunato for Dan.
Right.
Yeah.
So getting a sword stance off.
So many crazy things. Like, we need MLG horns. If we could edit that in right there, that would have been the point. Because this Ice Fang, once the Ice Fang hit, which almost KO'd, if there was a second follow-up when it would have KO'd, and then the critical hit throat chop from the sword stance, which may or may not have mattered considering his sword stance Halacha. But I mean, if there was ever MLG horns, it was that was good.
Now, I just want to point out, I don't want to, resetting the potential sash here with the Giga Drain was
Really good.
yeah, that was probably the best option I had here.
Are you saying it's sashed?
Well, I just said it's a one-trick pony, so pretty much.
Yeah, it's sashed. Sorry, guys.
Seeing you get that surge back when I get there, so it kind of ruins my.
I know it's sashed. Mark know it's sashed. I know it's sashed. Everybody knows it's
It's kind of like the Rabombi. It's
sashed.
sash.
It's sashed. It's sashed. That's a set. Hit that play button, boy. Oh no!
Doesn't do anything because the sash.
Oh. Oh.
Almost.
Almost.
And he did.
And he did. Salazzle did overcome the Galvantula, which was his entire purpose. Well prepped, Mark. Great set. 19th Amendment with women's voter rights is now out on the field and is struggling. How will it overcome?
And it's dead.
It will not. They will fade back into the 18th century.
Quite.
Yes, sir. Quite.
Substitute Snarl. Ooh, with throat spray.
It's a throw spray on the Snarl.
See, I kind of was hoping for a flinch there, but,
Is
never
that
was.
Specs Rotom?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I thought so.
Indeedy.
That Volt Switch damage is large, especially at that hit you got on DDD. That was a lot of damage on that thing.
Yeah, that was indeed a spexed Rotom Heat.
Man, I'm glad I know my counts.
That is hard.
It is hard.
That resume.
Now, I just, this, I guess, was the moment that kind of caught everyone off guard when we did this live, but, here comes the fake out.
Like his thirst gone.
Oh.
Fake out priority move. Gets the KO on the 1.5 times throat spray Thievul. And then, trouble in paradise.
This is where I screwed up.
It was a roll, ladies and gentlemen. Berserker living on 1%, getting the crazy damage.
That's
And then the switch. Sacking the Rotom. 11% on the Razzle Dazzle. No psychic terrain left to save it. Fake out gets the KO. That's going to do it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
An eccentric finish. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just tell you, that's as fine as the Pokemon matches you're going to find. Mark, what were you feeling at this particular point? How did you feel as you saw this just supernatural event unfold?
Sadness.
I can understand that. I can understand that for sure because we felt it with you. We thought, man, missed it by 1%. That is close. But hey, that's the margin we played the game at. And Dean, being on the positive end of that, how did you feel about it, sir?
Same way I do at every game. My nerves were racked at the very end of that. I don't know. I mean, they could have went either way, and we did the calcs later, and it was what 25% chance to.
A 3-1, yes, sir. 25% chance of happening that way. 3-1 was in a certain person's favor. We'll just leave that back to you guys if you want to delve into that with the calcs. But it was an incredibly gutsy play, but it was the only one left for you both to take, and it was very well done on both sides. I want to make sure everyone here, viewers, know that this game was played in the same room. These guys were facing off just a few feet away from each other, and immediately after the match, there was nothing else that could have been done except for a conceding handshake. It was a great display of sportsmanship. I appreciate that, and that's the kind of just attitude we try to foster with this league. It was very well done, and I appreciate that both out of you.
I'm glad to know that since I lost, at least it wasn't a blowout like my last couple of games have been. But I mean, I'd love to have won this game, but it came down to the rolls. But Dean, you prepared really well. Like, kudos to you, man. Like, you're always a fun dude to play against, and that freaking beard, man.
Yeah, I think this is the first week I brought him. And I had to be tricky with him. I thought, if I'm going to bring him against Mark.
And first it's the squirrel, now it's the beard.
Brother, I know the power of the squirrel, so Dean brings the weird sets and they prevail. That's just what he does.
Like, I felt like I definitely could have played a lot better, but I mean, as close as the game was, it was very entertaining.
Yeah.
It's a long season. There's still, I think, 5 games left for each individual coach. We have return conference play. There will be some rematches done. Some blood will be shed on already battlefield soil. So this is going to be a long time for the rest of the season. I really look forward to the rest of it. But as far as something to close out Week 6, this was the game.
I hadn't even seen it until just now.
The stadium clearer, man. Everybody screams and just storms the floor. That's the one.
It was a really good game.
Guys, that was excellent. I really appreciate everything we've got going with the league to where, like I said, this can be a fostered environment for this kind of play because that's what we go for, man. It comes down to 1%. That's all it determines for the winners and the losers anymore because the competition is so stiff. Thank you guys for being excellent competitors and excellent sports about this kind of thing. Really can't wait for what else this particular season has, as well as the UPC with playoffs and so forth.
Thank you.
Yeet.
All right, guys, that's great. That's going to cap off Week 6. I appreciate everybody tuning in to check out this channel, check out this particular video. If you liked everything you've seen, or even just a portion or something you didn't like, we want to hear from you. Leave us a little bit of feedback, leave a comment, subscribe. You can reach out to us at the ultimatepokemonchampionship.com website. Our Gmail, our email is linked there. All the replays, standings, rosters, everything is there. Love to hear from you guys. Dean, what do you think about that?
I think we've got a good rest of the last half of the season to go, and I hope everyone stays tuned in for what we have in store for not just them, but for ourselves to find out what's going on.
There's going to be a lot of stuff, just like this last particular match, that you just don't want to miss. You definitely want to check in on this very regularly because it's top tier play. I mean, the Showdown League can bring out some really good things.
Without anything else to say, we will catch you guys next week and that week's recap, and hope to see you around.
Definitely want to say thank you to our featured guests, though, in both Mark and Hunter. Thank you guys for showing up on the actual stream of the video tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
No problem. Hey, peace out, homies. Y'all keep it real.
Goodbye.